My name's Nate Rivers, and that's me in the picture, obviously. I wanted to record this video to tell you a little bit about who I am and, why I have any business talking to you about this stuff, and tell you what Stray Blogger Training is actually about. So, as you can see in the logo, it says a step by step course anyone can follow to build a profitable business online. And that is what Stray Blogger Training will teach you. So let's just kind of go into this. Now before I go over what exactly is in the training course, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I got started. Now my first job was at Walmart actually. I worked in lawn and garden, and I actually liked the job at first. It was my first real job. But within a few months I'd figured out it didn't pay very much. So I started looking around, just talking to people that I knew, and I kind of got the idea of sales. And you've got to understand, this is like at the first of my entire working career. So when I was like 18, 19 years old and everything. And I'm not that old at this point. That wasn't that long ago, actually. But anyways, I got into sales. I sold cell phones. I also had a stint as a door-to-door salesman. A door-to-door actually paid a lot, but it wasn't worth the mental anguish. If you've never done door-to-door, I don't think most people have, you can't really understand how terrible it is. It's the worst job ever, I think. I did have my own business in the regular business world. I started my own pest control business, and having my own pest control business was a step above sales as far as how much you can earn, because then you can leverage employees and other people. But at the same time, it took a lot of time. It was essentially just like a job. And so I ended up selling that company just to a bigger company, kind of the way that works. And so that was like a big influx of cash. That was nice. But I knew that wouldn't last forever either. Now, kind of these, this kind of overlaps the time when I was selling cell phones. Clear back then, at some point, I got the idea of making money on the internet, and so I started looking around. I bought access to a training course, and I started a site about bodybuilding, and there's a few reasons why that's funny to me now, but mainly because I'm not a bodybuilder at all. I like to work out and lift weights, but I'm not a bodybuilder. I had no clue about keyword research or really any of the other things that it takes to build a successful site or an online business. And I actually wrote a lot of content for this site, but I was actually going after keywords like bodybuilding and build muscle and stuff like that. So, needless to say, nothing happened with that site. Now, I worked on that site for almost 2 years, very close to 2 years, and I eventually just decided, okay, this is not working out. My my daily traffic levels haven't gone above like 30 people for the last year, and it was hard to quit and just totally give up on that site because I'd spent so much time. But well, I didn't actually know where I'd gone wrong. Now I can very clearly know there was a few very specific things that I did wrong with that site, because it is possible to build a successful site now in the health niche or any of the health niches such as bodybuilding or muscle building or losing weight, losing fat. You just have to go at it a specific way that I just didn't understand back then. But I basically gave up on internet marketing for a few months. My next attempt was a few months after that. I just couldn't get the idea out of my head of being able to run a business from my computer. That's essentially the dream, in my opinion. It just can't get any better than that. Versus like, randomly inheriting $50 million. If as far as actually having a business and actually having to work on a project day to day, if you can do it from a computer from anywhere, that's pretty much the dream. So I couldn't get that idea out of my head. So I set up an account, I came across the idea of pay-per-click, which is where you just pay for ads based on a per-click basis. And this was on Google, and this was back when you could direct link right to a sales page. So I didn't have to have a landing page or my own website or anything. And I set up an account. I took the bait pretty hard about how easy this was going to be, and I literally thought I was going to, pay a little bit of money and wake up to, $1,000 or something in my ClickBank account. I was 100% sold on the idea. So I spent this whole night setting up a campaign, and I went to bed that night literally thinking that my money problems were over, and it's embarrassing to think about now because that was just so naive or so far off. So I woke up the next morning and I'd spent $300 and nothing had happened. And I was still so convinced that it was going to work, or that it had worked, that I just thought, oh, there must be a delay in ClickBank like reporting stats or ClickBank analytics. So once I accepted the fact that it was a complete failure and I spent a few $100s for nothing, I gave up on the idea of online marketing again for a few months. And again, just the same thing. I just couldn't get the idea out of my head. I knew that people were out there doing this, so I just thought, I have to be able to figure this out, at least to some degree. So I started reading stuff online again. I came across the idea of targeting small topics or targeting specific niches, basically little niche sites. And I figured out SEO eventually and how to get these small sites ranked for their keywords. And I eventually started to see some sales. And from there, I got into a lot of different stuff and have had a lot of success over the last couple of years. And the rest is history, as they say, of course. I had to put that in there. Now, so the main things that I've done, or at least done successfully, are product creation, affiliate marketing, email marketing, Amazon websites, or basically being an Amazon affiliate, authority sites, membership sites, and most recently Kindle publishing, or publishing ebooks on the Kindle store. Now these are some proof of earnings. I don't really like doing this proof of earnings thing, but you do want to make sure, if you're going to listen to somebody and take their advice and spend time on it, or spend time on working on what they're teaching you, you do want to know that it's someone that actually has done this. Now these aren't the big crazy screenshots, at least ClickBank screenshots, that you'd see on the big ClickBank launches and everything. And I understand that. Most of my early success was with individual ClickBank accounts where I would set up just a small product, and I set up a lot of sites like this. So I have a lot, just had a lot of these small ClickBank accounts that still to this day, just earn money. Well, I'll talk about more about how I did that in a minute. This is another proof of earnings. These are my a lot of those little products I eventually switched over to PayPal, so that people could, some of my products and my sites were just getting completely ripped off and copied, because people would find the products through the ClickBank marketplace, find these little niche sites that I'd set up, and they'd just copy my products and basically set up a site the exact same. So I started to move those to PayPal. So anyways, this is 60 days of PayPal. Well, it's my main business bank account, and I just have not highlighted, blocked off or blacked out everything except the PayPal transfers back into from PayPal to my business bank account, just to show you that I actually do this stuff. So this is 60 days of earnings. This is another site, or not a site. This is a Commission Junction account. The top two images are, and then this is the bottom one is just another business bank account where other affiliate accounts get deposited into once in a while. Or I guess, yeah, every 5 or 6 days it looks like, or every 7 days. Those are just direct deposits. So the main point again with this is not to show you that. Well, it is kind of to show you. I mean, when you start getting, affiliate commissions and these direct deposits into your accounts, and it's it's substantially more money than you really need each month, your life gets very different. And I don't drive like a Lamborghini or anything ridiculous like that, but I can get up in the morning and go golf, whatever, 9 or 18 holes if that's what I want to do, which is what I want to do most mornings. Watch TV or play video games for a while. I still work every day because I want to keep this going. That's one big misconception. Websites and other, like your own digital products or ebooks, they're awesome as far as they can, you can sell them 24 hours a day without you having to physically do anything once it's set up. But the reality is, to just keep a handle on things and keep traffic coming to your websites, you still have to put in a little bit of work. So I don't want to make it sound like, this will be a something that you can like build and then it makes money or a lot of money the rest of your life and you never have to look at it again. A lot of sales letters or sales videos make it sound like that. That's not how it works. It's running a real business. So you have to treat it that way. But it is substantially easier, very, very, a lot easier, much more simple than, a real business with a lot of employees and stuff like that. Like my pest control business was. That was a lot of hard, like, manual work. Now, a disclaimer, my results aren't typical, and, to do this, to build an online business, it takes work, time, and effort to get results like this. So, I don't guarantee any level of success or income from my methods. I can show you exactly what's worked for me and how to do it, but most people still won't put in the time and effort required to learn these skills or achieve similar results. So, I have to tell you that, or I want to tell you that, just because, again, I don't want to promote the idea that this will happen overnight or anything like that. Anybody can do this. That's true. But it does require, it's just a function of skills, learning the skills it takes, a function of putting in the actual work and putting in the actual work over time, basically. It's a very simple formula. Okay, so now that I've kind of gone through that introduction, what can I teach you? That's probably, or I know that's what you're interested in, okay? Now, what I want to teach you, or what you're going to learn inside of StrayBlogger training, is what I think is the best online business model. Now, without having to have a huge budget or trying to cater to investors or get investors on board and creating some big software product, or having to pay a lot of money for a developer or have a developing team, one person can create basically content websites that make affiliate commissions from a lot of different sources, or even sell your own digital products or ebooks. Basically information marketing. That's what I think is the best online business model. So what you're going to be doing is building a Google-proof website that becomes increasingly passive and increasingly profitable, whether that's a blog or a regular website. That's kind of just semantics. That really doesn't matter. It's just whatever format you're comfortable with or you feel is best. I like the blog format, but it's going to be a site that generates revenue from multiple sources and a site that generates traffic from multiple sources. Now, with other methods, most methods out there, especially just the whole make money online thing, it's positioned as loopholes or these like secret ways to make a lot of money overnight. The problem with loopholes and that kind of stuff is most of the time it's not real. And the other problem is even if it is a legitimate loophole that lets somebody make money in some way, loopholes get shut. They're not sustainable, and that's not what you want to get into. You don't want to, even if you're lucky enough to master some loophole method that makes a lot of money fast, you don't want to have to be constantly having to find the next one. You want to just build a sustainable long-term business. That's the only thing logical that makes sense to do anyways. So how do you do this? The idea here in a nutshell is you're going to combine different types of content: informational, entertaining, shareable, pinnable content. That's referring to Pinterest. Content that makes you, so those are the informational, traffic driving, types of content. And then content that actually results in money being made or generating revenue for your website or money pages. Now this works whether you have an existing site or whether you have a business that you are trying to build a website and traffic and exposure around. So, and like I said, that last point there, it also works if you're starting from nothing and just want to build an online business and you don't know where to start or you haven't had any success doing that yet. So step one, you want to choose a niche or a topic that has physical products, information products that you can recommend, and easily lends itself to informational content. If you're starting from nothing and you don't even have a niche or a topic in mind, niches around hobbies are almost always a perfect fit for this model for an informational website. And now if you already have an existing site or a business, all you have to do is choose an angle or a hook to, that's kind of a copywriting term or a marketing term, to create that content around, okay, that makes people interested and makes it something that people share on social sites and talk about. So just as an example, this is a screenshot from the Amazon.com bestseller list. You can see that the topic that's highlighted here is camping and hiking. And underneath, within that topic, is all these other categories: backpacks and bags, backpack accessories, down to compasses, hydration, sleeping bags, tents, trekking poles, clothing, footwear. So there's a huge amount of content, or specifically products that you could recommend as an affiliate. Now on the left of this slide, you'll see where it has informational article titles and then money articles. And this is just to illustrate what I'm talking about. For informational articles, these are going to be articles that people find useful. So they share them on Facebook, or they tweet them, or they pin it to Pinterest, stuff like that. And this is stuff like how to start a campfire with no matches, how to choose the right backpack, using a compass versus a GPS, how to eat like a king while camping. And I think you can get the idea. You could just look at a product category over here and think of an informational article title. Now, the nice thing about the informational titles or the informational articles, like I just said, is that's going to be the thing that drives the traffic to your site. There's not a million different marketers all trying to rank for informational articles. What everyone is trying to do is build these little sniper sites that target product name keywords. So you want to have money articles on your site as well that has affiliate links, that you can refer sales to, but you're not going to necessarily trying to get those money articles ranked, because there's so much competition for that. You're much better off creating a lot of useful informational content that drives, traffic to your site, to your informational articles, and it funnels down to your money articles through your email marketing and just through your site navigation. And that part, how to do that, is a big part of, or something that I'll teach you inside of StrayBlogger training. Now, the benefits of informational articles, I kind of already went over this. There's not nearly as much competition. It means they're easier to rank. You're going to get search engine traffic. They send a lot more long tail traffic. You'll get traffic for all types of little keyword phrases when you have a lot of these informational articles on your site. These are also the types of articles that people like enough to share or bookmark on your site, or subscribe to your list, your email list. Sniper review sites, if you've tried to build any of those, they don't exactly go viral or get liked on Facebook very much, for obvious reasons. Now, social traffic, I just touched on this, but this is what is going to eventually make your site Google proof. You can reap the benefits of social traffic without having to go out and try to build a presence on these different social networks. And again, that's another specific part of the StrayBlogger training that I'm going to show you inside the members area. Another thing is using quality images. This has always been a good way to make your site more attractive and engaging. But with Pinterest, it's now a way to drive a lot of extra traffic. And inside the training, I'm going to show you an endless resource of Creative Commons images that you can use on your site and how to use them the correct way to get them pinned and to drive traffic back to your site. This is just another thing that adds to the overall traffic snowball. Now, content syndication, this is another big thing that a lot of people don't do. You should spend at least as much time promoting your content throughout the web than, as much time as you do creating the content. This is a whole nother module inside of the training that I'll show you how to do that, what sites to do it on, and it results in natural, Google Panda and Penguin proof backlinks back to your site. Okay, the next thing that you'll learn about is building an email list. Building an email list is the number one thing you can do, even if you're only getting 10 visitors a day. Because the people that subscribe to your site are more likely to like or share your articles. It also leads to repeat visitors, which is a huge thing that Google looks at when it's deciding what sites to rank high or on the first page. And it leads to better Google stats overall because those people are more engaged, they're interested in your message and your site, so they're going to stay on your site longer, so your average time on site is longer. They are going to view more pages per visit on average than other people who bounce from your site within 5 seconds of landing on it. And that all leads to better rankings and more traffic. So more traffic, adds more subscribers to the beginning of this process. And this just all leads to a compounding effect of more traffic and more sales. So I think that makes sense. I think anyone listening to this would understand what I mean by that. Now, I just mentioned this. This causes that whole traffic snowball effect much faster for your site than it would happen without it. And that's really only the tip of the iceberg. I mean, once you have an email list, once a week you send out a weekly update, and you can make using the email service that I show you how to use, you can set up what's called a blog broadcast, where it pulls that data from your feed automatically and sends it out weekly without you having to do anything. It'll send out all your new articles for that week. And that brings a lot of traffic back to your site weekly and over the next few days after the email sent out each week. The other thing that you can do is take your best performing money articles as well as a combination of your most popular informational articles, and you put those into an autoresponder sequence. So these are autoresponder messages that are spaced 5 or 6 days apart. Now this obviously results in a steady flow of traffic and sales, as well as improving your site's metrics in the eyes of Google, like I mentioned earlier. So all this stuff combined, this all works incredibly well when you put it all together. It's very, very simple to do. It's a very simple formula. Putting in the work to do this and make it work isn't easy. It's not going to happen overnight, but you'll be building a real long-term business that is actually providing value to people that visit your site. Again, that's the ideal situation. Now here's the secret to building a very successful online business. The number one thing that I hear from readers and customers on StrayBlogger is that they get so overloaded with information and methods and techniques, and lately plugins. There's like 5 plugins a day that are released that are supposed to just magically make your site make more money. Anyways, it's confusion. The number one problem with people trying to build an online business is information overload, being overwhelmed, analysis paralysis, whatever you want to call that. It's just confusion, like not knowing, okay, if I have 2 hours today to work on my business, what should I spend that 2 hours doing? That's the biggest problem everyone has. So the answer to that is very simple. You are going to implement exactly what I teach you inside of StrayBlogger training, whether you have 1 hour a day to work on this business or 8 hours a day. You don't do anything else until this one, you choose one niche, one topic, you build one site. You don't do anything else. You don't worry about trying to learn any new methods or anything like that until this one site is producing $500 a month in revenue. Now the big secret is, once you get to that point, you will have learned the necessary skills to duplicate that. The skills that go into that are, conversion, copywriting, persuasive, engaging writing skills, and traffic generation. You will have the necessary skills to duplicate that. Now you can duplicate that whether it's taking that site to $1,000 a month and beyond, or building multiple sites that each make $500 a month or whatever, okay? Now once your site is generating that revenue, you can then afford to expand your business much faster by reinvesting all that revenue or some of that revenue back into your business, whether that's paid traffic, virtual assistants, outsourcing projects or content. It's just, that is the big secret to success online. Those 3 things. You figure out one method until it's making substantial revenue. Then you take that revenue. Well, the second big lesson there is, once you've figured out how to do that, you can do that as many times as you want. Duplicate that success as many times as you want, because you'll have those crucial skills cultivated. And then the other big secret is that most people never get to, because they're always jumping around to these make money overnight methods and stuff like that instead of building a real business. The other big secret is to reinvest your revenue as soon as your site starts making money, to just duplicate that level of success faster and faster and faster. So that is what StrayBlogger training is all about, and that is what it's going to teach you. So who is this training for? I want to make this very clear. If you understand that there's no overnight way to make a ton of money, and you understand that it takes work over time to build a real asset and a real sustainable business, and if you want detailed step-by-step videos of how this entire process works in action, then this training is specifically for you. Now, who this isn't for, if you want a way to make a lot of money without very much work, which, little tip, that does not exist, and if you can't sit down and actually do a full hour of real work each day on your business, producing actual results and content, then this won't work for you. If you want a way of just trying to scam some type of system like arbitrage or something like that's just not what you're going to learn in this course. Now, StrayBlogger training is the home of all my premium training material. That's where it all goes. The main training is made up of ongoing over-the-shoulder training videos of me building a site from scratch so that you can see every single step of the exact process I've just described. There's also recorded member webinars and then ongoing live webinars that we do monthly for the members of Stray Blogger Training. So here's some of the, just to make it specific so you can kind of get an idea, specific things you'll learn. I'm going to show you keyword and market research made easy. And I don't just mean explain how it works. I'm going to show you a specific process that makes it easy. Because that's another thing a lot of people get hung up on, is they might spend a month or 2 months just trying to decide on a niche or a topic, trying to find these perfect keywords. That's not how you build a site like this. Of course, I've got the, videos of setting up hosting in WordPress. If you're not familiar with that, there's videos in there. How to choose and install and set up and customize your theme. I'm going to show you the crucial WordPress plugins that any successful site will have. I'm going to show you site setup and effective structure. That kind of gets into the idea of the conversion, funneling down your traffic from the informational articles to your pages or elements that make your site money. I'm going to show you the most effective and safe backlinking methods for both generating traffic as well as building backlinks, increasing your SEO search engine results at the same time. We're going to go through email marketing. The segments in there make up what would be a full course elsewhere just on email marketing. I'm going to show you how to entice people to sign up for your email list no matter what your niche or topic is. We're going to go over how to do video marketing. Again, that could be a whole other course separately that's just included in this training. YouTube marketing, driving traffic back to your site and your squeeze page through video marketing. I'm going to show you how to claim multiple spots in the top 10 for the same keywords. I'm going to show you how to generate social traffic like we talked about. We're going to go through the different types of money pages, and there are very different specific types, and how to set each one up. You're also going to learn how to create long-term traffic and income with very simple autoresponder messages. There's a very simple formula for that. So that goes back into the email marketing aspect. I'm going to show you how to write an ebook on your topic or series of ebooks and publish on Amazon Kindle. The crazy thing about the Kindle is it's almost like reverse pay-per-click traffic, meaning when you design and create an ebook correctly, based on how I'm going to show you to do it, it will generate sales on its own and then drive traffic to your site and your email form, your email list as well. So just to be clear, it's honestly like reverse pay-per-click. You're getting paid to send traffic back to your site. Kindle is an amazing thing so far. You can make a lot of money just from your ebook sales when you learn how to do the market research correctly and position them correctly. But they also are essentially these little lead gen machines, that send people with credit cards on file that buy stuff back to your site. So anyways, again, that would be a whole course in itself of the information I have on Kindle publishing inside this course. There's a lot more than that, plus ongoing content and updates on the example site. And my first previous course was on creating your own info products in these for little small niches, that was what my first substantial success was online, is just creating a lot of these little niche websites on very specific topics and creating my own information product for them, and then implementing a big long autoresponder sequence that sold affiliate products after the initial sale. So my entire course on that is inside of this training. And I sold a lot of copies of that for $77 by itself. and I already mentioned this, but new content is continually added. This is a membership site. Now the thing is, I wanted to make premium training on every crucial topic affordable to anyone. So that's what this is. Okay, this isn't a $9.97 course or a $500 course. Okay, now if you've been struggling to build your online business, this is where you should start. I actually believe that this is the best place for anyone to start, especially if you've been trying a bunch of stuff and nothing's worked so far. Now, what you should do, take my advice, ignore everything else until you get this one project that I'm going to show you how to build, earning $500 a month. Now, another thing that's very different about me and the Stray Blogger Training is that any of the members could tell you, I answer my own emails. You're not going to be, when you ask me a question, you're not going to be hearing it from a virtual assistant or anything like that. I personally respond to my emails and to the questions in the members forum. Also, if you don't feel like the training course is totally worth your investment, I'll give you a no questions asked refund within 60 days. And the thing is, I don't, one person's purchase is not going to like make or break my business. I literally don't want your money unless you feel like the training is actually helping you. Okay, so you can feel totally comfortable investing in this course, and if you don't get out of the course what you think you were going to get out of it, I'll give you your money back. Now, once again, I want to tell you this again because it's so important. If you've figured out at this point that there really are no shortcuts or very easy overnight ways to make a bunch of money, and you're ready to start building a real business, then this course is for you. This is what you've been looking for. So join now with the button below, and I'll see you in the members area.